The EAFENGROW EF145 is massive. It's made of DC53 steel and it's got a really rad curved handle. We're going to look at that knife in this video. Stick around. EAFENGROW has really made a name for themselves. They're putting out a lot of blades. A lot of these blades are massive, and these designs are simple yet so effective. And I think they've done a really good job of tapping into those designs that big-time knife junkies are looking for, especially those who like big, robust blades. Take this one, for example. It's absolutely massive, and it's got one of the most, popular blade shapes there is out there. It's got these gorgeous G10 scales here as well. I just love this all black look. I tell EAFENGROW, whenever they send me a blade, send me the black stuff. When it comes to knives, I don't want no color, no orange, maybe green every now and then if it's all you've got. But man, give me that black every time. And take a look at this blade. Man, that thing is thick as Marilyn Monroe. You're always gonna get the same kind of sheath with an EAFENGROW knife. They're really nice. I love the little thumb brace right there. Tech lock as usual. It's always in there, super tight. Man, that thing's as tight as somebody with a $100 a week grocery budget. And you can't throw this big knife unless you pretend that you are a cast member from The Predator. Stick around. That knife is stuck so deep in that wooden target, I'm not even going to be able to pull it out and finish this review. I'm just kidding. Me and the next door neighbor working together for a couple of hours was able to pull it out of that target. Perhaps you may want to clear some unwanted limbs or a few redwoods here and there. Simply show this blade to a potential attacker and he will say, "I'm sorry, man, I got the wrong guy. I got no beef with you whatsoever." If T-Rexes were still walking the earth and there was a such thing as T-Rex season, well, I would recommend that you use this to skin that T-Rex. Now, the one thing I wouldn't recommend is for you to try to carry this Scout across your back, unless you're a very wide individual. Otherwise, you're going to be clotheslining people everywhere you go. Should you use the EF145 in battle, you got great protection for the hand on the top and on the bottom. I just don't see you slipping off the side of this one. Let's check its pry bar abilities. This is a pretty tight piece of wood, so, if it survives it, we got us a good tip. Would you look at that? I mean, that's just a serious piece of equipment. The 145 here is one of the sharpest EAFENGROW blades I've tested. If I had to say which one was the sharpest right out of the box, it would be the 145. And as you can tell, it's a chopping machine. It's got a lot of weight in the swing just by the way it's designed. I mean, it's set up to do heavy chopping. So this is basically a machete. This is for the person looking for something that's more like a knife but has the power and weight and size of a machete. And you can tell that it's just set up to do everything a machete does well, but even better. And you can use this choil to do more intricate tasks. Also too, you've got a great starting point for sharpening. I've had so many people come in the comments and say, "Man, when are you going to do a video on knife sharpening?" I'll tell you why I'm so hesitant to do that, because it seems like everybody and their mother has a different philosophy on sharpening knives. I just say good luck, man. Get a whetstone and get good at using it. Get a whetstone and get that thing wet. Don't just wet the surface. Soak it until it absorbs all the water. Get one that's got a whetstone and a smoothing side. And one of the things you want to do is when you set your knife on your whetstone, when you set it flat, you're going to see a little bit of a gap. What you want to do is just close that gap, just like that right there, and then begin sharpening. You don't want to turn it up like this and try to sharpen. Just set the blade flat on the whetstone and then just close the distance until it's laying against your stone against the factory edge. For example, if this piece of wood was my whetstone, I'd lay this knife flat. You see that little gap? I'm simply going to close that gap just like that right there and then begin sharpening. DC53 steel is an upgrade from D2. It has a higher hardness after heat treatment. It has a much higher level of toughness than D2, It has a greater fatigue strength. It's got a lot of resistance against chipping and cracking. I've got to address the biggest objection that I get with EAFENGROW knife reviews. And that is, I've heard people say that they've lied about the steel in the past. I have not verified that. I say this, just take the manufacturer at its word, and if the steel does not perform up to task of the type of steel that it is and how it should, send it back. That being said, I'm really not trying to sell it. I get free knives to review from EAFENGROW, but I do not get commission on the sale of these blades. In some ways that's good, in some ways it's bad. It's good because, you know, since I'm not getting commission on this, I'm not trying to hyper sell it. It's bad because I'm not getting commission. Just a free knife to talk to you about. The EAFENGROW EF145, ladies and gentlemen. This bad boy speaks for itself. It's super sharp, it's super heavy. It's got a great ergonomic handle, super thick, just a really cool looking design from EAFENGROW. You can pick this bad boy up on Amazon. I'll drop a link for you in the description for you to go and check it out. If you like it, I'm glad that you could find what you needed here on 411 Outdoors. Thanks for watching. Take care.